Today, we are going to be talking about the hip ball and socket joint and hip labral tears. The labrum sits around the acetabulum. Labral tears are mostly common in petite women due to their small bone density and structure. They are caused by injury, wear and tear, typically in sports, and can cause a lot of pain from the hip down the leg. Today, we are going to be looking about all the muscles that affect the hip joint. The first muscle is the glute max. This is shown abducting and is a medial rotator. This is the glute medius, also abductor and medial rotator. The abductor minimus. The piriformis, which is a lateral rotator of the hip. The superior gemellus, which is a lateral hip rotator. The piriformis, which is a lateral hip rotator and hip abductor. The obturator interis. The inferior gemellus. The obturator externus. And the quadratus femoris. All of these muscles are the P-go-go-Q muscles that are lateral rotators of the hip. Next, we have the biceps femoris. This is a hip extender. Semimembranosus and semitendinosus. Next, we are going to be looking at the anterior, gracilis adductor. Adductor magnus. Adductor longus. Adductor brevis. Pectineus, and all of these are the adductor muscles. Next, we have the rectus femoris, which is one of the main muscles of the quadriceps. This is the sartorius. This causes for abduction and flexion of the hip joint, as well as lateral rotation. The tensor fasciae latae is a medial hip rotator, a hip flexor, and adductor. More superior is the iliacus, which is a hip flexor. Along with that is the psoas major, which is actually a part of it, and this is also another hip flexor. Lastly, we have the quadratus lumborum, transverse abdominis, internal abdominal oblique, external abdominal oblique, rectus abdominis, and latimus dorsi. All of these muscles act on the hip joint in different ways and can affect or can be affected by labral tears. Even though the trunk muscles don't necessarily originate or have an action acting on the hip, they all insert somewhere on the pelvis, which can cause pain in the trunk and the hip joint itself. Thank you.